Imagine walking into a bank, and instead of waiting in line, someone greets you by name, offers you coffee, and connects you directly to a dedicated banker. Sounds like something reserved for millionaires, right? Not always. Here's the surprising part. Premium banking isn't just about having a lot of money. Sometimes it's about how you manage your finances and whether the benefits actually outweigh the costs. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how premium banking really works in America, who's eligible, what you actually get, and the biggest myths that often lead people to make expensive banking decisions. Most Americans use a checking account without thinking much about it. They deposit paychecks, pay bills, use a debit card, maybe transfer money once in a while. And for many people, that's exactly what they need. But banks also offer another level of service called premium banking. That's where things start to change. Some people gain access to lower loan rates, personalized financial guidance, higher transfer limits, or special banking perks. Others end up paying monthly fees for benefits they barely use. The difference often comes down to understanding what premium banking actually is, not what the advertisements make it sound like. Let's imagine two neighbors, Sarah and Michael. Both earn about $95,000 a year. Both use the same national bank. Sarah keeps a basic checking account because it's simple and familiar. Michael, on the other hand, qualifies for his bank's premium banking program after moving several accounts, including savings and investments, to the same bank. At first glance, nothing looks different. They both have debit cards, both can use online banking, both receive direct deposits. But over the next few years, their banking experience starts to look very different. Michael gets a dedicated banker who helps him streamline paperwork for a home equity loan. He receives fee waivers on certain banking services. When he needs a cashier's check, it's included. When he wires money for a home purchase, the fee is reduced. Meanwhile, Sarah pays standard fees each time she needs those same services. Now here's the important part. This doesn't automatically mean Michael made the better choice. If he had to keep a large amount of cash sitting in a low-interest account just to qualify, those perks might not have been worth the opportunity cost. And that's the key lesson. Premium banking isn't automatically better. It's simply a different package of services designed for certain customers. So, what exactly is premium banking? Think of your bank like an airline. Everyone gets to the same destination, but some passengers pay for extra services. Priority boarding, extra legroom, airport lounge access. Premium banking works in a similar way. Your money is still held in insured bank accounts, subject to applicable coverage limits. You can still deposit checks, use ATMs, pay bills, and transfer money. The core banking functions stay the same. What changes is the level of service and the additional benefits that come with the account. Depending on the bank, premium customers may receive a dedicated relationship banker, higher daily transaction limits, reduced or waived service fees, preferred rates on certain lending products, better support for larger or more complex financial needs, easier access to financial planning resources. But here's something many people never realize. Not every premium account offers the same benefits. One bank may focus on travel perks. Another may emphasize wealth management. Another might simply waive more fees. That's why comparing features, not just account names, is so important. This is where many people get confused. Some assume premium banking is only for millionaires. That's a myth. Different banks use different qualification requirements. Some look at the combined balance across your checking, savings, investment, or retirement accounts. Others may consider recurring deposits, lending relationships, or participation in specific banking programs. In many cases, eligibility is based on the total relationship you have with the bank, not just the amount sitting in one checking account. And here's the catch. Those requirements can change over time. That's why it's always worth reviewing the current terms before opening or upgrading an account. Because the last thing you want is to move your money expecting premium benefits, only to discover you no longer meet the requirements a few months later. Now, here's something that surprises a lot of people. A premium bank account doesn't magically make your money grow faster. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. You might receive better service, extra features, or access to specialized banking support. But a premium account doesn't guarantee higher investment returns or financial success. Think of it like buying a first-class airline ticket. You arrive at the same destination as everyone else. The difference is the experience along the way. Premium banking works much the same way. The account can make certain financial tasks easier, but it can't replace smart budgeting, consistent saving, or good investing habits. Let's look at a common mistake. Imagine Jason has $75,000 in a diversified investment portfolio, earning a reasonable long-term return. He hears about a premium banking program that requires maintaining a large cash balance in a checking or savings account to qualify. Excited about the perks, he moves a significant amount of money into a low-interest account. He gets free wire transfers, a dedicated banker, and fee waivers. Sounds great. But here's what he forgot to calculate. The money sitting in a low-yield account may earn much less than it could have elsewhere, depending on his goals and risk tolerance. Over time, that difference could outweigh the value of the banking perks. This is called opportunity cost. In simple terms, it's the value of what you give up when you choose one option over another. It's one of the most important concepts in personal finance, and one that many people overlook. So when does premium banking actually make sense? For some people, it can be genuinely useful. For example, someone buying and selling homes regularly might benefit from reduced banking fees and quicker access to specialized support. A small business owner who frequently sends wire transfers or needs cashier's checks may save both time and money. Someone managing multiple accounts for retirement, college savings, and everyday banking may appreciate having everything under one financial relationship. But here's the key idea. The best reason to choose premium banking isn't because it sounds exclusive. It's because the benefits match the way you already manage your money. If you're changing your financial habits just to qualify for...
Here's the lesson that matters most. Premium banking isn't a reward. It isn't a shortcut to wealth. And it isn't designed for everyone. It's simply another level of banking service. For the right customer, it can provide convenience, personalized support, and lower fees on certain services. For someone else, a basic checking account may deliver everything they need without any extra requirements. The smartest financial decisions usually aren't the flashiest ones. They're the ones that fit your goals, your habits, and your overall financial plan. And remember, banking products and eligibility requirements can change over time, so always review the latest account terms before making a decision. Individual financial situations are different, so for major financial decisions, consider consulting a qualified financial professional.
Think about this the next time you see the words premium, gold, or private on a bank account. Instead of asking, "Is this the best account?" ask a better question. Is this the best account for the way I actually use my money? That one question can save you far more than any premium perk ever could. If this lesson helped you understand how premium banking really works, give this video a like so more people can learn the difference between smart financial decisions and smart marketing. Subscribe to AN Time and turn on notifications for more easy-to-understand lessons about banking, credit, investing, taxes, and building long-term wealth. And let me know in the comments, have you ever considered upgrading to a premium bank account? Or do you think a regular account is enough?